Hi there, beauties. Welcome back to another energy reading. Pick a card. So what you do is we have 3 cards here. We have 3 crystals here. You're going to pick the pile that resonates with you. This is not a thinking thing. This is a feeling thing. Which one are you attracted to the most? The first one we have is a turquoise heart for the first pile. Then we have the amethyst for the second pile. And then we have the white quartz for the third pile. So this does not require your brain. This goes with your feeling. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. We're going to start with the turquoise heart. If you chose the turquoise heart, we have the Page of Cups. Now this could be new love. This could be you literally offering your heart. This could be you are dating someone and this is like only your second date and you're kind of like, you're almost like ready to go all in, and you're ready to kind of give all your emotions. What really is catching my eye is the closed eyes. So the main thing here is open your eyes. Don't jump into anything or dive into anything without really being aware and informed of the situation. Now, this isn't only relationships or romantic. This could be a business venture. This could be jumping into, wanting to try something new. Just the main feel of this card is don't do it with your eyes closed. Make sure you keep yourself educated, informed, so that you are making the right decision for yourself. Okay. Now at the end, we're also going to go back and we're going to do a wrap up, where I'm going to go back over all of them again and give you a little bit of tidbit. So I will put the timestamps in the video for which pile you want, but I would suggest to still listen to the whole thing and make sure you at least catch the end. All right, the second one, the amethyst. We have 2 cards that came out. We have the High Priestess and we have the 7 of Wands. Now the energy I'm getting here is you're dealing with this person. This person is very dominating, authoritative. This could be your mom. This could be your boss. This is somebody in a higher position than you. So it could be an elder, like an aunt, a grandma, a mom, a sister, an older sister, sibling, sister, cousin. This could be a boss, right? But they're very dominating. They're very domineering. They're always right. They're never wrong. You are always wrong. You are this person. So there's also a lot of conflicts, and you kind of also feel like you can't ever get it right. Like you can never get it right. You guys are always arguing. And if you can kind of see her air of almost this like, it's an air of like, I know better, I am better, and I do nothing wrong. And as you can sense in here, it's like there's a lot of frustration with the 7 of Wands. So it's like, it's almost you're like, why is nothing ever working out? Why are we always arguing? Why is it always this? Why is there always conflict? And it's like you're constantly trying to fix things, but it doesn't really matter because they've already made the decision that everything you do is a fuck up, and they're not. So what I would suggest to you is to take space away from this person. And sometimes that's really hard, especially when it's a mother, a sister, a family member, or a boss. It's hard to do that. What I would say is to prevent you to continue wrapping your head around this person being weird and being however they are, just go ahead and remove yourself from the situation as much as you can. And have trust and faith in yourself that you do know what's up, and that this person, I'm going to validate you. This person is domineering. This person is dominating and authoritative, and they're never going to be wrong. Period. So since they're never going to be wrong, fuck them and get them out of your life, or at least out of your head. And just be like, you know what? Actually, no, I'm fine. Let me figure this stuff out, because I realize that nothing I do is going to be good enough, because there's always going to be a problem, because this is just how this person is. So once you realize that, you'll stop beating yourself up. That's a lot of what that is. And third and final cards, there was once again 2 cards. We have the 3 of Swords and we have the 2 of Pentacles. Now there's multiple meanings. One, if you literally just broke up within a relationship and you're feeling heartbroken, this is your energy of you're weighing the pros and cons. Like even though they broke your heart, for some reason you're still there, almost like justifying, but not necessarily justifying. You're kind of just trying to make sense of it all. You're like trying to figure, you're like, what, why? And you're doing like this literal back and forth of pros and cons and like thinking of all the great times and then also thinking of the not so great times. And you're really going back and forth, but you're also trying to just understand why this person would hurt you so badly. And I'm so sorry to tell you that just sometimes people do really shitty things. And you know what? They do it not intentionally to hurt you, but a lot of times it's because they themselves have their own trauma and heartbreak and bullshit from their own past. And that is their responsibility to figure that shit out. And so on the front of if this is you and it's a relationship that ended, I would say to just make sure you're really looking at the pros and the cons of this person, same as Page of Cups here, like with your eyes open. Like it's really hard to leave someone who you're in love with, even when they've broken your heart. But a lot of times it's the best thing you could do for yourself because they broke your heart because they have their own bullshit that they can't even work past. And they're the only ones who can work on that bullshit. So that's not your job to help them work on the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is like, this could also be tied into business. This could be tied into familial relationships because it could be like, you know, maybe a mom, a sister, a cousin, whatever, broke your heart and you're trying to figure out why do I stay, or even a best friend, why do I stay here and try to continue to make this friendship work? This friendship is so toxic and you're trying to make sense of it. What I'm going to say is sometimes shit just doesn't make sense. But when we're wronged, that's something you should really, really take a hard look at and know that you deserve to be treated right. And you deserve more than bare minimum. And even in friendships, not just in relationships, like in friendships, you deserve more than that. So you can take this time to reflect, but also know that you are deserving of being treated the absolute best. And you don't need to take breadcrumbs because there is somebody out there for you that will treat you exactly the way you need to be treated. Of course, that starts with yourself. You got to treat yourself that way first, because when you treat yourself that way, then you don't allow people to come into your life that is going to manipulate you. All right, so let's do a really quick wrap up. We're going to go here, start off here with the white quartz. Your main message is you're looking to make sense of everything. Sometimes you cannot make sense of stuff. You just have to trust that what they did to break your heart and what they did to hurt you is who they are. And if that means you got to walk away from that, then that means you got to walk away from it. And you may never understand why they did it, but you deserve to be treated fabulous. Okay. All right. Wrap up for this pile, High Priestess and Seven of Wands. You know, this feels like a really frustrating relationship. This is somebody who knows everything, does everything right, you're wrong, and that can be really exhausting and draining in your life. And so you need boundaries. You just need to create boundaries. And it's really hard, you know, sometimes, especially if it's a parent, you know, somebody we respect that we really want their approval. The thing is, to be quite honest, they are like that to you because they actually don't have approval for themselves. And so because they feel crappy about themselves, they want to cast something onto you because it gives them a feeling of control. So if you can just remove yourself from the situation and not allow them to have so much control over you, you will feel better. And finally, the Page of Cups. Like, you want to endeavor in something new. And it's not saying that it's bad. It's just saying, make sure your eyes are open as you're jumping into this new thing. There's going to be some rough seas, some rough waters. So you want to make sure your eyes are open when you're jumping into this. And it's not that it's a bad thing you're jumping into, because I think everything worth having, you know, requires trials and tribulations and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you want to make sure you're like staying aware, being very honest with yourself and the situation that you're getting into. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was good for you as it was for me. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Aloha.